Hey guys, what is going on? Dylan here. What I got for you today is another build video. We're going to be taking a look at another Solar Warlock build, and this time, not with Well of Radiance. We're going to put that back in the bag, and we're going to be using Daybreak. So with that, our two exotics are going to be Dawn Chorus and Polaris Lance. Dawn Chorus is going to improve the projectile damage of your Daybreak, as well as increase the Scorch. Just overall for your class, but also with that Daybreak, and then give you a little melee energy along the way as well. We're going to pair that with the Polaris Lance, which is obviously just an Ignition Scorch Beast. Now, you can use Sunshot with this as well, but personal preference, I prefer Polaris Lance. Now, the cool thing with this build is that you can stun all three champions with my build. Polaris Lance, you can stun unstoppable champions with those ignitions. For barrier champions, you can stun them while you're radiant. And then I have an Apex Predator. And as long as you have that artifact mod, you can stun overload champions with your rocket launcher. Now for the build itself, we're going to be using obviously Daybreak. I like to pair this with a fusion grenade, though you can use a solar grenade, incendiary grenade, whatever your preference is there. Basically, this is just a tool to help you spread that scorch a little bit. Celestial Fire, I'm using this one specifically because of its increased range. And then for the aspects, you can use Heat Rises, Touch of Flame, or Icarus Dash. Personal preference to kind of go on theme with the whole Daybreak build. I'm using Touch of Flame and Icarus Dash. But again, you can use whatever you want there for those aspects. They just, different benefits, but still beneficial and all. For the fragments, we're going to be using Ember of Char, Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Eruption, and Ember of Ashes. With Ember of Ashes, Eruption, and Char, you can kind of see there it's all about Scorch, Ignitions, spreading that Scorch. And then Ember of Empyrean, it's going to increase the duration of our Radiant and Restoration just by getting Solar Ability, or Final Blows, Solar Weapon Final Blows, or Solar Ability Blows. Sorry, I'm recording this late. And Daybreak does a pretty hefty amount of damage. It is definitely improved. It would be cool if it had just something a little bit extra, like maybe increased duration or something, but still, nonetheless, it is still good. And then, obviously, I mean, Polaris Lance, especially mixed with this build, is great. Shout out to teammate there for getting it in front of my powered melee. And then I like to pair this with Mountaintop with Recombination, because you're going to be using your energy weapon and your abilities so much. You'll almost always have Recombination 10. You can also use the Heritage Shotgun. I preferably like something with Recombination. Which, yeah, I was definitely wrong about the Mountaintop, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Really, really good for ad clear. Really, really good for damage on bosses. You pop that, and then you can retreat back after you've popped that super and use your Apex Predator. Now, for the mods, the mods are there on the right. I use Siphon mods. I've been really liking Stacks on Stacks recently, just to get a bunch of armor charges and then pair that with like a Solar Weapon Surge boost, whatever. Solar Weapon boost. Oh my god. And then this right here is one of the big reasons why I like Polaris Lance. I mean, I can just sit there and pling away at those enemies and just keep popping them and getting those ignitions, doing increased damage. And if you wanted, you can still Well of Radiance this build. This is still viable with Well of Radiance. You still get the benefits of the increased Scorch overall for the build. So it's not, you don't have to use Daybreak. It just, you are missing out on a very major part of the exotic Dawn Chorus with that if you don't. But yeah, that is pretty much the build. I'm just going to show you some more gameplay here. We're doing a Lost Sector on Legend, and we're going to get an Overload Champion to pop up, and so you can use the rocket launcher they have. And so in a second, I will show you that we can stun barrier champions with it as well, as long as you are Radiant. And the way you get Radiant is just by getting, I think it's just a Solar Kill or Solar Ignition Kill or something like that, and it'll make you Radiant. And then also, while you're Radiant, you can shoot through Hydra Shields and things like that. Obviously, I'm not Radiant here. But yeah, I love this build. I was able to solo a GM solo, or not a GM. I haven't tried a GM. I should try a GM. I did play some GM by myself just to get the footage, but I did a solo Nightfall on a higher difficulty by myself. Probably could do a GM with this one, and I may do that because this is a very well-rounded build for a lot of things. So. All right. Well, that is all I got for you today. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I will obviously put the dim link in the pinned comment below. If you guys want to set this build up and try it for yourself, let me know what y'all think. Love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.